Happy 20th birthday, Amy, wherever you are. It's been 10 years now since I've seen you. Hell, I don't even know if you're alive. But if you are, I hope you find this. You're a young woman now. God, I can't even imagine that. Your precious face, your perky little voice is forever frozen in my mind. Frozen in that last night that I saw you and kissed you goodnight with a promise to take you fishing for the 4th of July weekend with the new poles I had bought us for your birthday. You never got to see your new fishing pole because you never saw your daddy again after that night. I still have nightmares sometimes that you're crying your little heart out after being told that your daddy, whom you loved so much, was never coming back. I wasn't there to see that, of course, but I know you would have sobbed yourself to sleep because we loved each other so very, very much. You were my little dream daughter, and that love we had for each other is what your mother feared most in the whole world. It was your mother who wanted the divorce, Amy, not me. We were a happy family. Do you remember? But there was an ill wind afflicting Australia in those days, and still. It was an evil thing, and targeted fathers and families. It had eventually poisoned your mother, killing even a storybook love, as we had shared. No matter what I did, more and more, I lost your mother to it. More and more, she wanted to be a single mother, living off the government's single mother payments, which was being pushed during those final years together. In fact, it became trendy. But there was a big problem with her plan. Your love for your daddy, and my love for you. As heartbreaking for me as the divorce was, your mother knew correctly that you would have followed me wherever I went, back to America, or even into another relationship in time. Your mother had changed drastically by the day we had separated. She was not the same woman I had so deeply loved and married and had co-created you with. There was already a negative energy consuming Australia in 2008, one which hated love and families and innocence and happiness and anything good. But everything changed in your mother the night that she and several other people performed a seance around 1 p.m. inside the old Fremantle Prison and attempted to conjure that wretched spirit, David Burney. But something else was released that ill-fated night. Something that would come to destroy the friendships between all who were present that night, and even a love as your mom and I shared. I won't elaborate on that right now, Amy, but if you should find this video, look below. I will provide a link to the PDF of the story I had written of some years ago. But the point is, daughter, as difficult as it may be to grasp, your mother didn't love you at the time she and I separated, any more than she loved me. You were just money to her, at least 8 years worth of government money. She had become totally materialistic, and love and family be damned. But as I alluded before, that creature was not your mother. It was not the woman that I had married. It was something else. Something that even frightened me when I looked into her eyes. And I don't frighten easily. Your mother had conspired with your Australian family to make sure that you would never have a daddy, to make sure I could never take you to America to visit. In fact, to make sure that you would have no daddy at all in your life. Your mother had officially asked me for a divorce on April 27, 2010, the anniversary of the day we had met via email in 1998. You cried so hard then, saying over and over, "Not my mommy and daddy." Your mom had kept telling me then to go back to America, which meant, of course, not seeing you for many years, and I wouldn't do that. And it was then that I made that promise to you that I would never ever leave you, and after your sobs had subsided, you seemed content with my promise, though still rightfully upset about the divorce. I left our house after the separation, but over the next 2 months we spent almost every single day together, going to Hillary's and Fremantle. I had bought you a mobile phone so you could call me any time, day or night, as you needed to hear me and to be reassured that I would never leave you. However, your mom began to tighten the distance from the house that I could take you. She was worried that I would steal you and go to America, which was ludicrous. It had become so bad that I knew the only way to resolve it was in family court. Your mother became unapproachable on the issue, and arguments ensued between us, something we had never done in our 11 years of marriage. I finally told your mom that I intended to file in family court after your 10th birthday, which was 26 June 2010. I suppose now that I shouldn't have told her, but I was hoping she would want to avoid that whole dirty mess and work with me on having access rights to you. I couldn't have been more wrong. Your precious 10th birthday came, and you had made me a very, very special invitation, which I had kept safe all these long, dark years. I treasure that invitation, Amy, so much. You had a wonderful birthday that day at Time Zone, I guess, because your daddy was there. But that would be the last birthday I would ever have with you. 4 days later, on 30 June, I took you to McDonald's for dinner, then brought you back to the house that used to be our home. I tucked you into bed and kissed you goodnight with a promise to take you fishing at Hillary's Resort for my country's 4th of July weekend. I hadn't told you of the new fishing poles I'd bought as part of your birthday presents, but told you to try and guess what surprise I had for you, and to dream of going fishing. Then I kissed you goodnight and left into the cool evening. That night, just after midnight, which was then July 1, 2010, your mother, after colluding with her family, did something evil and unforgivable. Your mother called the police to report false allegations against me of sexual assault against your older sister, my stepdaughter. To be fair, your mother had told your sister that I would only be deported, so she would play along. In fact, your mother truly believed that I would only be deported, and I have proof of that. But how naive, how selfish had she been? They had planned this for a long, long time, Amy, because I wouldn't leave Australia and go back to America. Because I wouldn't leave you. Your mother, I later learned, had planned to move that day, taking you and just disappearing. Naturally, you would have been able to call me with the phone I bought you, or I might have stopped by to see how you were doing. Since I wouldn't go back to America, she had to remove me some other way. And your mother was not going to allow me to file anything in family court. She knew I could win, and that I was going to ask the judge for the right to take you to America on holiday. From the moment your mother made that evil phone call, time stopped for me, Amy. A true nightmare began, such as one I never could have imagined. And you could not imagine all I have endured and suffered since kissing you goodnight that cool June 30 evening. I was arrested off the street and thrown in jail, shocked and shattered, heartbroken, depressed. All I could think of was you, Amy, my little dream daughter. How could they have done something so evil, so cruel? How could life matter so little to them after all? After 56 days locked in jail, I was finally granted bail on 25 August 2010. But I was forbidden to have contact with you. So, I wrote letters to you on my website, hoping you would find them. But the judge ordered me to take them down. I was given no lawyer through any of the proceedings, and I refused to plead guilty to something I didn't do. So they put your daddy to trial 1 year later. I was not even given a lawyer for that, and was forced to defend myself for 5 terrible days. I didn't know how. So I was convicted. Amy, they put me in prison for just long enough until you turned 18, then unceremoniously deported me back to America. They didn't want you to have a daddy. They don't want anyone to have a daddy. I arrived home on New Year's Day 2018. It was like waking from a dream that had lasted 20 years. Australia was gone. Your mom and I, and the incredible love that we had shared, was gone. And most heartbreaking of all, daughter, you were gone. All of this was done to me because I love you. Because you love your daddy. They will deny everything, but simply ask them if they are willing to challenge me online in front of the world. When they say no, you will know the truth, Amy. I nearly died of a heart attack in 2012 because I was so heartbroken missing you. I kept detailed journals through those years in prison and never, ever forgot your birthday. Not ever. Last year I made a short film for you called 1010, the time you were born, about how I spend every birthday since that last birthday together. This year, however, I decided to read the cards and journal entries from every birthday I missed, rotting in that hellhole. It was very difficult to get through, emotionally, but I managed, barely. God, I miss you, Amy. I miss you still as I missed you that first day away. There's a singer who lives in Utah whose name is Ryan Stream. He has a song called Daddy, about his own little daughter, and having to leave her as a soldier. It reminds me of how we were all once a family together, the love that we shared. It takes the hatred from me for a little while, so I watch it often. It's good not to hate, even for only a few minutes each day. If you get the chance, watch it. It will remind you, too, of the love we all shared back before something wicked our way came. And so, Amy, my precious daughter, here are the birthday letters and journals from all those years away from you. Just so you know, I was always there, in heart and spirit with you. Happy birthday, daughter. June 26, 2011. On bail, Midland, Western Australia. Happy 11th birthday, my beautiful baby girl. It's been a year now since I saw you. A year since your birthday, on June 26, 2010. You were 10 years old that day. 10 years since you were born, that wonderful morning at 10:10 a.m. Today, you are 11 years old. I'm not with you. I haven't been with you for a year now, since that terrible, terrible night. But Daddy never left you, Amy, and I never will leave you. I'm right here, not far away, just over the tree line. I'm still here in your town, and like I always swore to you, I will never leave you. How many nights did you cry yourself to sleep, wondering what happened to your daddy? Why I never came back to take you fishing and to dinner at Hillary's. It has shattered my heart to know how you were hurt in this, and it has angered me beyond anything that you were kept from me for no more than selfishness, vindictiveness, and greed. You are old enough to feel the pain of losing your daddy you loved so much. You are old enough to know the truth about everything, and you will, I swear it. We will go fishing, and to Hillary's, and many, many more things. You will go to America with Daddy and meet your family and see where your daddy grew up. We will be together again, because I will never stop fighting with every means I can to have you back. You know me best. I'm your daddy. Daddy loves you always. Happy 11th birthday. Acacia Prison, June 26, 2012. Dear Amy, my precious daughter, this is your daddy writing to you. Happy birthday, sweetheart. 12 years old. It's been 2 whole years since I last saw you, just days after your 10th birthday. Your image is still frozen in my mind. For me, time stopped that last night I saw you, after bringing you home from McDonald's. We made plans to go fishing at Hillary's on the American 4th of July weekend. Do you remember? I bought us fishing poles as part of your birthday present. I had kissed you goodnight and told you to dream of going fishing and spending the day at Hillary's resort. I did not know that would be the last time I saw you. You never got to see your fishing poles, nor your daddy again. I had made you a promise after your mom and I separated that I would never leave you, and I have kept that promise, dear daughter. I was cruelly taken from you, and you from me, but I never left you. I'm here, not far away, and you are always in my heart, every day and every night. I keep your picture close to me, the one from the Take 5 magazine, of you hugging the tree, the one that reads, Amy, the little girl in John's dreams. Indeed you were, and are. You were with me long before I ever came to Australia, and you were the reason I came to Australia at all, to have you with your mother. Not one day has passed that I don't fight to be with you again, and we will be together again. I swear it. You are smart, and you will know the truth, the whole story, all of which has been so cautiously guarded from you. It cannot be kept from you forever, not even much longer. In the meantime, precious Amy, Daddy loves you so much. I miss you so terribly. I'm not very far away from you, not far at all. Your brother and sister in America love you and wish you a happy birthday also, as do Grandma and Grandpa. They love and miss you and send you cards that you never get. But we are all searching for you, Amy. Find them. They are your American family. Daddy is here, Amy. I'm always with you. You have a daddy, and I am here. Happy 12th birthday, precious daughter. Happy birthday. I love you and miss you so much. Love forever, Daddy. Somewhere over the rainbow, where the dreams you dare to dream really do come true. You are living proof. June 26, 2012. Acacia Prison. A longer version of your birthday letter. Dear Amy, my precious daughter, today is your birthday and you're 12 years old. Happy birthday, daughter. God, I miss you so, so, so much. It's been 2 years now since I've seen you, and it hurts every day. You were and are my dream daughter, and everyone knows that. My dream, long before I ever met your mom or came to Australia. Your mom has erased me from your life. She doesn't want you to know or remember your story. Your mom got rid of everything that told your story. The magazine articles, interviews, etc., even photos. But I have kept everything. I have it all safe. It's very lonely here. Everyone I knew, family and friends, are gone or far, far away in America. I woke up at 4:44 a.m. this morning and immediately thought of you and the day you were born, seemingly just yesterday, yet so long ago. That was a time when your mother and I loved each other beyond imagination, and our love was seemingly encased in a bubble of magic and wonder, and strange events of synchronicity and a special number, 1111, that brought your mom and I together. It was all empowered around you, or rather, the dreams of you. Dreams of Amanraya, my future daughter. Those were immeasurably magical days indeed. Many people knew your story in those days. You were the reason I came to Australia at all, to have you with the woman who would be your mother, and I loved her as much as I loved you. And we both loved you so very, very much, long before you were born. Your story, and the love story of your mom and me, was published in magazines and on the internet. Your mom and I talked about you on radio programs and the strange, magical events that led us together. But of all those days of wonder and magic, none were as magical and perfect as the day you were born. This day, 12 years ago. Many, many years ago, when your daddy was 33 years old and living in America, I suddenly started having dreams at night of a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl who would appear to me in my dreams while sleeping. She was about 8 to 10 years old, long, wavy blonde hair. In those dreams, which were always the same, this girl would just appear before me, out of the darkness, and radiate in her love like the sun. She would take my hands in hers and gaze deep into my soul with that love. I knew this beautiful girl was my daughter at a future time yet to come. That first dream was in late October or early November 1993. Those dreams would occur once or twice a month, and eventually I was driven by my desire and love to see you born, to search for your mother, or rather, the person who would one day be your mother. I knew this woman would be very special, and that I would know her through certain signs that only I would recognize. And so I began to travel and to meet people, and all the while following strange synchronicities and a certain number, 1111. This was like a signpost along the way of my journey. In 1995, I learned about the internet, which was just new to the public in the world. I was so impressed with how we could write and talk to people from all over the world and build websites that I began to teach myself to be a programmer and a web developer, and I became very good in a short time. Of course, you would later come to see all the things and creations I would make on the internet, and our ghost radio, and your mom's underworld radio show, and so much, much more. But in those days, the internet was just new, and it would become the most important tool in at last finding the woman who would become your mother. Without that invention of the internet, your mom and I would never have met. I would never have come to Australia. There would never have been a ghost radio or an underworld show, nor all the happiness those brought to your mom and to me to create it. Today, the internet is your world, just a part of life, but Daddy was there when it all began, and I helped in little ways to make it what it is today, developing apps and methods to contribute to it all. The most important part of the internet back then was what it was originally created to be, for email. There were many, many strange events that happened along the way of my journey to find your mother, and most is recorded in magazines or radio shows, or in my writings. But one of these strange events happened not to me, but to a young woman who lived on the opposite side of the world. One day in April of 1998, something very strange began to happen to her. Suddenly, she began seeing 1111 everywhere, under very unusual circumstances. This kept happening for almost a week, and she started to believe something was trying to tell her something. So this woman went onto the internet to see if anyone knew anything about this strange number, 1111. One lady, who lived in Toronto, Canada, whose name was Maya, read the message from the Australian woman and told her that she knew someone who had studied this kind of phenomenon. Maya forwarded this woman's email to me with questions about 1111, and so I wrote to the woman and told her to visit my website where I had written about this phenomenon, and where I had also written of a little girl who would appear to me in my dreams. After reading my website, this woman wrote to me. We instantly loved each other, and as if we had always been searching for each other. This woman is now your mom. She told me she lived in a place called Perth, Australia, which was far, far away from America. But it didn't matter. I knew in that moment that I had finally found the mother of my dream daughter, and I would literally travel to the ends of the world to be with her, and to have you, my dream daughter, with her. That dream daughter was you, Amanraya. Eventually I did travel to the ends of the world to be with your mother and to see you born to us. Your mom and I were married on Malaloo Beach, Western Australia, on November 11th at 11:11 p.m. with her family and friends. The ceremony took exactly 11 minutes, unrehearsed, and over the Indian Ocean, a crescent moon hung in the sky. Within your mother's womb, you were 11% developed, according to the doctor's report earlier that day. Our wedding song was a song that I had written on the plane on the long flight from America to Australia. It was called So in Love, and I sang it to your mom on that special night. Our love story and how you came to be was magic in its truest form, and we all knew it. That following year, on June 26, 2000, at 10:10 a.m., you were born. Today that magic we shared is gone, ended in tragedy by the very same number, 1111, that once steered me across a 5-year journey and to Australia to be with your mom. But the love we shared in those days, that life together, still lingers in my heart like the warm afterglow of a once blazing fire, an amazing fire. And now here, amidst my darkest era, and not even knowing where you are, I awoke this day of your birthday at 4:44 a.m. and instantly thought of you, and that day you were born 12 years ago. I just laid here in the dark watching the time tick by on a digital clock, a couple of meters from my bunk, remembering every moment of that day. I hadn't been asleep that night because I had been working on my book, Quest for Peralta Gold. Your mom had come into the lounge room where the computer was and told me that her labor had started. I went instantly into carer mode and was so nervous and excited. Your mom just wanted to lay down a while longer until she felt the pains coming closer together. She had called your Nana to tell her. The labor pains began at 4:44 a.m. I made sure everything was packed and ready, and around 5:15 a.m., we gathered your brother and your sister and left for King Edward's Birthing Center, where we met with Nana and Papa Jim. Soon the rest of the family had arrived. This was a special day, and everyone wanted to be a part of it. It's now 9 p.m. in my cell. It's been a long, painful day for me. I carry your picture with me always, the one where you're hugging the tree in your little pink cowboy boots. I keep it tucked inside my badge holder, with the key to my cell attached. I've imagined your day today, the birthday gifts, the cake, and the family around you, everyone you love, except the one who loves you most, the one whose dream you were and are. Your daddy is not there with you on this day, Amy, but I have been with you every moment. I imagine you're probably sleeping by now, and I will be soon as well. And I have imagined, or hoped, that when you made your birthday wish and blew out your candles, that you wished for your daddy home to you. I had watched the clock turn 10:10 a.m. today, and kissed your picture, and wished you a happy birthday. Then later, I saw 11:11. After an odd sound made me turn my head and look at the clock. I smiled, but sadly, and made a wish myself, to be free and to be with you again soon, and to return to those days of magic when love was forever and we were all together again, with this nightmare behind. Stranger things have happened, my daughter. I know, because I lived them. And you know too, because you were my dream within me. After all, you were a dream that came true. I love you so much, Amy, beyond imagination, beyond infinity. But of course, you know that already. I miss you immeasurably. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, where dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Happy birthday, Amanraya. Daddy loves you so. Dream me home to you. I know you can. Journal entry, June 26, 2013. Acacia Prison, Western Australia. Today is Amy's 13th birthday. It's been 3 years now since I've seen my precious daughter, held her, or heard her voice. It will be a hard day for me, but I will write her a letter. I'm not alone in here in missing my children. Many other men and fathers in here are going through the same thing. The system is brutal to fathers in Australia, whether jail or not. I hope by now Amy has found my website that I made for her. I pray she writes to her grandparents or brother and sister. Leah has become so callous, not allowing my mom and dad to have contact with Amy. Leah knows she lied, why she did it, and that I can prove it, and Amy will find out. The truth will come out. Amy's birthday, evening, June 26, 2013. I called my dad and walked him through the process of posting a letter from me to Amy on my website, and I hope it was transferred to the server. I've kept my little girl in my heart and thoughts all day. I'm sure she had a wonderful birthday and party. God, I miss her so, but hate with passion what Leah and her family did to me, to us. But I have hope. Here is the letter that I had my father post to the web server in 2013. Amy, happy 13th birthday, precious daughter. It's been 3 years now since I've seen you or heard your precious voice or held you. I miss you so terribly. I write you letters and send them to Grandma and Grandpa to keep for you. I fight to see you, to have contact with you. If you see this message, please email Grandma and Grandpa. They love you so much. Contact them. We are searching for you. Find me, Amy. I am here, not far away. You are old enough now. I love you beyond imagination. Love, Daddy. P.S. I truly believed we'd be together and back in America by now. Journal entry, June 26, 2014, Acacia Prison. It's Amanraya's 14th birthday. 4 years now, without her. This is all I can write. The journal entry for 26 June 2016, Amanraya's birthday, is missing. I've searched for it, but I just can't find it anywhere. Journal entry, June 26, 2016, Amanraya's 16th birthday, at 10:10 a.m. 16 years ago, you were born in my presence at 10:10 a.m. It's nearly impossible for me to fathom that you are 16 years old today. I haven't seen you since just a few days after your 10th birthday in 2010. And you're still frozen in my mind as that precious little 10-year-old daughter who I was going to take fishing for the American 4th of July weekend at Hillary's Harbor Resort. I'm sorry I'm not there for you for your sweet 16th birthday. I was taken from you, and you from me, by extremely selfish, cruel people. If I live through this hell, I will never miss another one of your birthdays or Christmases or anything. They have 1 year left, and then the world will know what they did to me and to you. They need to know. This must stop. I painted a picture for you today of us fishing together as it should have been that special weekend long, long ago. I hope you like it.
you. I love you. I love it when we sing, ring around the rosy.